Hello. In this video, I'll be talking about how gratitude supports addiction recovery. My name is Amy Krentzman. I'm an associate professor of social work at the University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities, and I study addiction recovery, and I study gratitude, the topic of this video. We'll start with the definition. What is gratitude? Gratitude is a positive, good feeling that occurs when a person feels thankfulness, appreciation, or recognition of something good. In this video, I'll also be talking about gratitude practices. A gratitude practice is, for example, writing a gratitude list. If anyone's ever told you write a gratitude list and you went ahead and did that, that would be what I would call a gratitude practice. In this video, we'll be answering the question, how does gratitude support addiction recovery? To answer this question, I'll be presenting a series of psychological theories and ideas. The first theory I'll be presenting is a theory of addiction and the brain. This theory says that addiction changes the brain, and these changes affect early recovery. In early recovery, these changes in the brain make it easier to feel stress and harder to feel positive emotion. But these changes get better with abstinence. So how can a gratitude practice help with these changes to the brain? Well, a gratitude practice can help produce positive emotion in response to everyday, ordinary pleasures. And it can also train the brain to feel positive emotion again. The next theory I'll discuss is a theory called the negativity bias. The negativity bias says that for all human beings, negative thoughts, emotions, and experiences have a greater impact on us than positive or neutral experiences. And all people have this negativity bias, whether they've had an addiction or not. They say that the negativity bias serves an evolutionary purpose, and by that they mean that paying a lot of attention to negative things could help with survival. I don't know if you're familiar with John Gottman's research on couples and relationships. There's a finding from John Gottman's research that to me really speaks to the negativity bias. John Gottman has found that for every one negative event, happy couples experience 20 positive events. To me, this suggests the presence of the negativity bias. If there were no negativity bias, then one positive event would be balanced out by one negative event, and those couples would be happy. But according to Gottman, those couples would be very unhappy. Gottman goes on to say that when happy couples are working through a conflict, for every one negative event, they experience 5 positive events. So even when talking about something difficult, the good largely outweighs the bad. So how can a gratitude practice help counter the negativity bias? Well, if the negativity bias is like a seesaw that's always tipping toward the negative, that's always giving more weight to the negative, then gratitude can go ahead and start giving more weight to the positive, to the other side of the seesaw. The next theory I'll talk to you about is called the theory of the hedonic treadmill. And hedonic means pleasure-seeking. The hedonic treadmill says that each person has their usual average level of mood. So everyone has their average, or their normal, or their usual. And when something especially good happens, the person feels better than usual. And when something especially troubling happens, the person feels worse than usual. But the theory of the hedonic treadmill is that we always return to our usual level of mood. Some researchers have argued that it is possible for people to raise their average level of mood. But the hedonic treadmill basically says that improvements in life provide short-term happiness, and then we become accustomed to them, and they become the new normal. You can think of a time when you got something you really wanted and you were elated. Maybe you got that apartment you really wanted, or you met your significant other and things were going really well for you both. and you were really feeling fantastic. You were feeling over the moon. Maybe you got that job that you really wanted. But over time, we all know that after a while, we didn't feel elated anymore. We didn't feel thrilled. Those new things that at first were so wonderful just kind of fade into the background. And that's the hedonic treadmill. Furthermore, we get used to or we adapt to good things that happen to us faster than we adapt or get used to bad things. So good things that happen fall into the background faster than bad things that happen. And the hedonic treadmill is another theory that applies to all human beings, whether they've had an addiction or not. So how can a gratitude practice help counter the hedonic treadmill? Well, a gratitude practice can reawaken the original good feeling we had when something good was new. The next theory I'll talk to you about is one of my favorites. It's the theory of the maintenance of behavior change. This theory says that individuals who are maintaining a behavior change, whether they realize it or not, they're regularly asking themselves, is this worth it? Is my life better now, after I've made the change, than it was before I made the change? And you can think of recovery as the maintenance of behavior change. This theory says that the answer has to be yes, for the person to continue to marshal all the effort and energy it takes to maintain the behavior change. So how can a gratitude practice help with the maintenance of behavior change? Well, gratitude can shine light on the ways that life in recovery is better than life in active addiction. And this can provide motivation to stay sober. The next idea I'll present to you is this idea that gratitude is a relationship enhancer. Several researchers have said that gratitude happens when we benefit from the positive actions of another person. So in their point of view, gratitude is fundamentally interpersonal. And when we receive something positive from another person, it motivates us to do something good, either to that person who helped us, or it motivates us to pay it forward and be good to someone else. So this can improve our interpersonal relationships and our positive bonds with other people. And it's led some researchers to say that gratitude is essential to everyday relationships. So given these ideas, how can a gratitude practice help support addiction recovery? Well, gratitude can help us strengthen relationships with others. And relationships with others, especially others who are also in recovery, is very supportive to addiction recovery. And having positive relationships with other people, whether they're in recovery or not, also can make life in recovery more positive. And this is my last idea about gratitude that I'll be presenting, and it's this idea that I call gratitude is transcendent. Researchers have said that gratitude is especially felt in response to a gift that cannot be repaid or a gift that is in some ways unearned. So how can a gratitude practice support addiction recovery given this idea that gratitude can especially be felt in response to a gift that is in some ways unearned? Well, in this way, gratitude can help generate a feeling of being fortunate, and in this way it can produce feelings of humility and awe. To summarize, how does gratitude support addiction recovery? Gratitude can help the brain get in the habit of producing positive emotion. Gratitude can give greater weight to what is going well. Gratitude can reawaken the original good feelings when something positive that happened to us was new. Gratitude can shine light on the ways that life in recovery is better than life in active addiction. Gratitude can provide motivation to stay sober. Gratitude can help strengthen relationships with others. Gratitude can generate a feeling of being fortunate or lucky. And finally, gratitude can produce feelings of humility and awe. With that, I'd like to express gratitude to the people who've supported my research, the community partners who let me come in and do my research studies in their locations, the people who've given me money to fund my research, a wonderful group of research assistants I've had over the years, and my employer, the University of Minnesota School of Social Work. If you're interested in reading further on any of the ideas I presented in this video, this link will bring you to a list of citations and references. I hope to make many more of these videos. This is my way of sharing the results of my research with people who are in recovery. I thank you for listening. I hope there was something worthwhile for you here. As I make new videos, I'll tweet them out or post them on LinkedIn. Thank you and have a nice day.